Ladies, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please be advised that this movie has no nudity.
I'm out.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah. I just have to wee-wee.
And we're back. Just like the Five Musketeers.
What the hell am I looking at?
A country where culture means pornography and slasher films.
If you had these boobs, you'd be obsessed with them too.
Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends.
We're Cinemadness Podcast.
Did you enjoy the jungle cruise with The Rock? Did you look in the trees? Everything comes back to Anaconda. John, look in the background. Jack Voight. John Voight.
Jack Voight.
Jack Voight.
John Black. Everything comes back to Predator.
Of course. Biodome, did you enjoy that one? Predator wasn't in that one.
Jungle to Jungle.
Jungle Book.
Predator meets Mowgli.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. Romancing the Stone.
El Corazon versus Predator. Oh, that's fun. Anyway, welcome back to the Cinemadness Podcast. We are still doing our... what are we doing? Celebrating ensembles. That's what we're doing.
We're coming together for ensembles.
It's almost like we're not professional podcasters at this point. Anyway, my name is Adam. I am here with Allison.
Hello.
And I am here with Roman.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
That was the whitest way you could say it. Yeah. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Go get into the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Or if it bleeds and doesn't die in 7 days, we don't trust it. What was that from South Park?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wendy. I don't trust anything that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die.
That's it.
You son of a bitch.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
I don't know why I said it. It sounded like, a robot.
You
son of a bitch.
We should do like a community theater version of the Predator, just with like over enunciation and just like maybe just a bunch of Wisconsin, like typical Wisconsin people.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Why do you sound Jamaican? Oh, have a red stripe.
Oh, call for your free tarot reading.
Dylan, you son of a bitch, huh? You didn't visit me in Wisconsin Dells for the winter, huh?
I was just getting ready for Predator 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
With the Jamaican gang.
Oh, yeah. But we're not talking about Predator 2.
We're not. We're talking about the one and only first Predator from 1987.
1987. Really excited about this one.
Starring two former state governors.
Yeah. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, the state governor of the great state of California. Yes, go Chargers. And we have, of course, Governor Jesse the Body Ventura
from Minnesota.
Also, why was he called the Body? Does he have a hot body or is it a big body?
That was his wrestling name.
That was his wrestling
name. Oh, that's
name.
right. He was a wrestler.
Yeah, he had a decent body, but it was not like sculpted physique. It was the 70s really. I mean, he's 6'5". He's a behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually so tall in the film, they didn't put Arnold and Jesse next to each other because Arnold would be dwarfed by Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yep.
And of course, there's some fun other anecdotes that we can get into. But
yeah, they had bodybuilding antics.
So we are talking in ensemble films, and this is a personal favorite of mine.
I know you've been wanting to do this one for a long time.
I have, and so I had to slip it in.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, Adam. Oof, he's not happy, but he
tricked us.
He did.
He
tricked us, making us believe that this was an ensemble film.
It is, and I'm going to, you know what? We should do like a courtroom drama right now. Let's just ding.
I object.
The hell with you. Anyway,
that's 2 episodes, and that's 2 episodes.
Legally Blonde. Yep, I love it.
Exactly. So I haven't done a Muppet reference yet, so there you go. Get ready. No, I absolutely love the Predator. I love our
Not
Predator.
The Predator.
Predator. There you go.
The Predator had Olivia Munn in it.
And Oh, you like Aaron Rodgers, eh?
She was really good in the newsroom, though.
Oh, By who? By who? Because it took you guys forever to figure out who it was the last time.
By Aaron fucking Sorkin.
Exactly. Anyways.
Okay, so I really do love Predator, 1987.
It's hard not to say The Predator, isn't it?
It is. It is.
The titty sprinkles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same way where you have to be careful when you're talking about aliens or alien.
Not really.
No, that's not that hard.
No.
Exactly. But anywho's. So the film...
It's like saying The Fast and the Furious.
That
and
is
Fast
very
and Furious.
hard. Yes, I concur. That's hard.
1 and 4.
Yes. There's too
so
many.
the
Predator.
film to me, the reason why it's my selection is I really do love how well the cast gelled together, and they were a consistent unit. And it's a 3-part film. The cast, unfortunately, is killed off by a second act, so the third act is all Arnold. I get that, where it's a single one-on-one. Yes, absolutely. However, in terms of how the units played together, there wasn't a situation where I felt that it was just one guy playing a role. They were a part of a group, and one of the reasons why is probably how they prepped for this role, where they did a boot camp where they were essentially in a unit where they got to go through the military
training
training together. So therefore, when they're on set, they had a comfort level to each other. The same way back when we were covering Empire Records, where they purposely had houses in Wilmington, North Carolina, together, so that way they could build a rapport. Kind of the same thing where they had a good knowledge and a good communication.
Like in Aliens, where they got Marine training.
Yeah, exactly. So this film, to me, I'm really excited about digging into it. On a personal note, this Arnold Schwarzenegger actually played a really big role to me. I don't know if I told you about this or not, listening land, or to you guys, but I was born with an arachnoid brain cyst. So doctors basically didn't give me too much of a chance to live. And if I was to live, I would have been knocked out. Or at least have hardly any use of my body, probably be a quadriplegic or a paraplegic, so on and so forth. And
the Oscar goes to...
So moving forward, so what ended up happening is my mom bought me this Arnold Schwarzenegger doll. Now, it was from Commando.
John Matrix.
Yeah, it was from Commando, and it was this 18-inch Commando doll and so on and so forth. And after the surgery, I could not walk. And my mom kept on saying, what would Arnold do? What would Arnold do? And come on, dig. No, I'm not letting you use a wheelchair. You're not getting that wheelchair. You're going to walk. And so I always had a kinship and looked up to Arnold's character. And remember, I was a 5-year-old, so I didn't know about any of that stuff politically that we know today in terms of what's going on, yada, yada. Not his political stance, just in terms of just some other stuff behind the scenes. I just knew him as a larger-than-life character that was tough, and I wanted to be tough like that. I wanted to take on my Predator, which was in my head, literally, and I wanted to overcome that. So, to me, covering a film like this, I think is fantastic. And I'm really excited about diving into this because there's a lot to it. Because in one part, it's a science fiction film. In one part, it's a war film. In one part, it is a action film. And it's also a bit of an espionage film to a degree. Mm-hmm. And just like with that, there's also a bit of, and what adds to that is the different characters that are introduced. Now, we can argue over whether or not it's, and Adam, who I love to death, I love this guy with all my heart. We've argued we've not argued, but we've politely communicated in louder words. So, but that's okay. We're both passionate about our own stances. So before we dive into the different characters, so on and so forth, Allison, you're not a big fan of Predator?
I had never seen this movie before.
So
I was super excited to watch it. It took me 2 days.
So Listening Land.
And here's why. And you already said it's part science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big science fiction person. Part war. We all know I don't like war movies. I mean, I don't even get the espionage until you said it, but now I guess I can see it. And what was the other one you said? Oh, action. Yeah. It basically looked like, I thought I was watching like an old version of Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. Well,
It's full of that alpha male garbage tropes.
Yeah. I had a lot of problems with this movie. I understand why you love it, and I get that it was from the 80s, so that's why it has problems. But yeah. Now, I have seen a couple of Predator movies. I've seen Alien vs. Predator, and I've seen The Predator with my favorite Olivia Munn. And then I saw that new Predator.
Prey.
What was that called?
Prey.
Didn't really like that movie. However,
You didn't like Prey?
no, I don't really like Predator movies. However, Predator is cool to me. So I will give it that.
You should see Predator 2 then.
I don't want to.
Okay.
well,
Why should I see Predator 2?
Because it's in LA. It's in the city.
Oh, so the Predator's just hopping around in the city?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's just completely different.
Okay, I might like that then, because that is one of my problems with Predator is it's always in this jungle or like Mayan ruins or Aztec or I know I'm just being like way off. It's always like,
And it's got Gary Busey in it. I mean,
oh God.
that's one of the reasons why I don't like Predator 2. But it still is a very good film, don't get me wrong. But we'll talk about that when we do the Predator anthology, never.
yeah.
But
Can I say one other thing that's really
please.
funny? Just because it'll probably come up. I felt so stupid watching this movie because I had no idea that this was the movie that Get to the Chopper was from. I thought that was from like True Lies or Last Action Hero, like one of those other movies. I even forgot he was in Commando because, again, I haven't seen that. I just thought it was like another movie that I had seen and I had heard him say. But it was one of those, what are those things called where you think you know it and what is that? The Mandela effect?
Yeah.
It was almost like that. Like, I thought all this time it was from a movie that I knew and I had seen a lot. And like, I say it sometimes because it's funny. I had no idea it came from this movie and I felt so dumb. I'm like, oh, that makes sense because there's a chopper in this movie. Like,
We said it a
over
lot
and
on the
over.
Coast Guard base.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But so thank you for introducing me to the proper movie of where that stupid quote was. So now I can quote that. And who is your daddy? What does he do?
wow. Both, I would love to know the context that you use both quotes.
I quote Kindergarten Cop a lot. Carter really likes that movie. I don't know why. So I say that and I tell him to get on the carpet.
Okay.
Remember the old days of the internet where they did the prank calls with the Arnold
Yes.
Schwarzenegger board?
Yes. And I've had people try to do that to me.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah. And I
You
used to
son of a bitch.
I used to request clips. I'm like, hey, can you just skip to the part where you're playing this clip, please? Thanks. No, you can't do that. Yeah.
Put the sandwich down.
What's that from?
It's from Kindergarten Cop.
I don't remember that part. Put the sandwich down?
There is no bathroom. So
You're the one eating everyone's lunches? Stop it!
Yes, that's right.
he was really cute in that. But
I'm the party pooper.
So, Adam, thoughts on?
Can we just do Kindergarten Cop?
No.
With the Predator.
So, thoughts on Predator before we begin? Thoughts on period?
Do you want my thoughts on the period?
No. Well, I mean, if it's your cycle, sure.
It's natural.
Yeah.
Predator was an interesting movie when I first saw it. I was 9 years old. I was at my grandparents' house watching TV in their basement, and it came on HBO. I heard about it. I saw it in the video store. You know, the big standee of him standing there. I never made heads or tails of it because I was not really a big Schwarzenegger fan. I thought Commando was, it was cheesy. Not a big action movie fan when I was a kid. I was really into sci-fi. So it came on. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. And the first thing you see is a spaceship coming towards Earth. And I'm like, oh, this has some sci-fi to it. So I started watching it. And I'm like, okay, I like this. Oh, I like this a lot. I really like this. So I became a Predator fan for a while. And throughout the years, I would always say, oh yeah, there's nothing better than the first Predator. And for the past few years, I've kind of been like, you know what, the first Predator is kind of cliche, and it's not my favorite of the saga. Mm-hmm. But it does still have its charm. It has its incredible effects. It has its great setting and originality to it. And I will give it high praise for it just existing for what it is. It's not an ensemble movie, but it's a good action movie.
Are you saying that just because the guy who directed the score or composed the score is the same guy who did the score for Back to the Future?
Maybe. I don't know.
No? Come on. I'm bringing the geek toy.
I don't even
geek
remember
toys.
the score.
Oh, man.
I don't listen to the score in movies. You guys know this.
So, funny tidbit.
I just like that we both went, oh, man.
Well, funny tidbit. So I wrote a fan fiction Family Guy where Family Guy is taking on Predator. And I actually pitched it to one of the a Family Guy's, basically a friend of my friend knew this guy on MySpace. Yeah, this is how old this was. And I friended him. He friended me back. I sent him my script. Never heard back. But it would have been this whole thing where Family Guy basically took the roles of Predator. So you had, of course, Peter Griffin going to be the Dutch role, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. You had the character in the wheelchair
Joe.
Yeah, he would be Billy the Tracker. It's like, wait a second, there's something in the trees. Stewie naturally would be the Predator, and you would just have.
Why wouldn't the chicken be the Predator?
No. You had to have Stewie because it's like, oh, I don't think that's very good. Look at that. But no, like at one point, Peter Griffin's doing the
I see why this wasn't picked up.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't think Alan Silvestri would have signed off on the singing.
No. Oh, geez. Well, now you answered a 20-year-old question. Why did it never get made? I don't know.
Speaking of voices, I recently read, and I didn't know this, that the clicking noise from the Predator was done by Peter Optimus Prime Cullen.
Yep. Well, it's not just the clicking, but it was also
all the vocal noises that he made. Yeah. But
what the fuck are you?
But I was just like, oh my God, it's Peter Cullen. You just wanted to hear him say, roll out.
You ugly motherfucker. Yeah. No, and what's funny is Adam, as we're prepping for this, he brought up the tidbit to talk about the Blue Lagoon, or Black Lagoon creature from the Black Lagoon.
Well, it's not technically the Black Lagoon.
It's the character from Monster Squad.
Yeah, while making the Monster Squad, the Stan Winston Studio was at the same time trying to make Predator, and but so the effects house was stretched very thin. They couldn't figure out how to make a bodysuit for the Predator, and Tom Woodruff Jr. Got together with Stan Winston and oh God, I can't remember his name. Sorry, Steven Johnson. Two really, really high-ranked creature creators, and they took the Gillman suit from Monster Squad after they finished it, and they basically revamped it into the form-fitting costume for the Predator today. And
worn by the late Kevin Peter Hall.
Yeah, and I learned that from the documentary Wolfman's Got Nards, the making of the Monster Squad.
Huh. Well, and that makes sense with the look if you think about it.
Yes.
Granted,
and the mandibles, the tusks, were created. They were created by James Cameron. He was on an airplane looking at sketches from Stan Winston, and he's like, "It'd be really cool if you put like tusks on this thing."
Well, because the original design, which famously we know was worn by Jean-Claude Van Damme, he looked like it was ridiculous looking.
Well, and he hated it because it covered his face. He didn't understand why I was wearing this big red suit that covered my face. And, Van Damme is very vain, and he hated the idea. So,
well, he signed on. No one forced him to sign on.
Well, I know.
I think what he heard Arnold Schwarzenegger was part of it, and he wanted to better his career. So I think that may have been his motivating factor. But
my least favorite thing about the Predator is its face.
Really?
I think it's stupid. I think it's absolutely... The helmet is cool as shit, and it should never have come off.
Oh, man.
I love the helmet. That thing is so cool.
I love the face because at the time period...
Hey, it was, pussy face.
At the time period, it was so complex in terms of how it was layered.
Oh, I understand that, yeah.
And in terms of being original, so on and so forth. Any other type of alien is very humanoid because you're cheaping out on the makeup. You can give a nose and mouth or maybe cover the nose up, so on and so forth. No, this was completely devoid of humanoid features. It was more scorpion-like. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it really interesting and phenomenal. Now,
I just really like the helmet. It's just a cool
I mean, it's really cool. And the older I get, I don't know if they were inspired a little bit by the Japanese warriors, but it's kind of funny where you can almost retcon the Predator into lore.
Oh yeah, because they have that ridge.
Yeah,
yeah.
It looks very Predator-esque. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, and then when you have we were talking about this in last week's our last episode of Bullet Train, the Oni mask.
The Oni mask, yeah.
Think about that in comparison with the Predator.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't take off his mask, you don't see that it's an alien. Like you could think that it's a man.
Yeah, and that's part of like the creep factor because at first you kind of think, and that's where the unit, the ensemble unit. And we're going to go more into that because that's the overall theme in a second. They're looking to resolve a mission, and they're being hunted by this thing, and it has 2 arms, 2 legs, but it's not human. And that's something that they're not used to. They're used to seeing like the evil and the dark side of man.
It has 2 arms, 2 legs, and dreadlocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which...
They're being hunted by Whoopi Goldberg.
Does he take his mask off in every movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of a thing now. It's kind of like Jason Voorhees.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Where he takes off
and
his
it's like
mask.
a long to-do, too, to take that mask off.
Oh, yeah. The airlocks.
Yeah.
And just, it's
and then there's always the 2 hands.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching a woman in 1800 garb or 1700.
No, take off her corset or something.
Like, hold on. This is going to be really hot.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's what he should do when he takes it off. He should be like, man, that thing, I can breathe.
And as the tubes are coming out, he's like,
yeah.
He's holding his finger up.
I've been trying to get that off all day. It's like a woman taking her bra off or something. He's just like, woof.
That's why every time they take them off, they scream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, exactly. So, in terms of the ensemble cast, what stands out to you? I pretty much know the answer, but we'll go through it. What stands out to you about the cast itself?
They were diverse.
Okay. Diverse how?
Ethnicity.
Okay.
2 black guys, 2 white guys, and an Indian.
Okay.
Wasn't there a Spanish guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Dime,
Spanish
mujer.
guy.
Dime.
Yeah.
She said that the jungle took him. Bullshit. That's not what she said. What she said doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Adam can quote films. I can literally quote this film. Oh, man. I literally watch this film just to give me... Oh, I love it. I love it. But anyways, please continue.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about the ensemble.
Well, no.
Ensemble.
No.
He said, what characters stand out?
Yeah, and especially with you, it's very interesting because you have a different set.
I don't remember all their names. Hold, please. Well, I will tell you that...
I have it up.
Not Dylan, the other black guy.
Bill Duke.
His dry shaving. I wanted to go like that with his thing, with his razor blade.
Well, he did that out, and they showed that, and that's Mac.
Mac, yes.
Yeah.
Bill Duke.
Mac! Which is funny because Jesse Ventura is not the strongest character, so they gave a lot of the lines to Mac, who's a little bit better. Bill Duke is a better actor. Mac! Status! Oh, man. We got these guys coming over here, and then we got these guys going over here. I don't know about this one. Billy, any chance we can get out of here? We can go through the valley, but I want to wish that on a broke dick dog.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't like him.
Oh, you didn't like him because he dry
the dry shave is just
it was like this,
unnecessary.
It was like a nervous tick for him, or not. I'm sorry, not really a nervous tick. It was almost how he soothed himself.
Yeah, it was like a comfort.
Yeah, like
he
but
did
it was
in the
just
plane.
it was just the weirdest comfort thing to do, and it's just. I have a thing with. Luckily, it wasn't a straight razor because I have a big thing about that. It gives me the creeps. But
oh man, no.
Anything to do when I watch a man shave, I don't. Especially with the dry, like when you go like this. It literally like makes my skin crawl when you're shaving up your neck because I feel like I hear the noise and I feel like it's going to cut people and it just like Sweeney Todd was like the hardest movie for me to watch. The Barber,
Yeah.
Because it was just I don't like it. So I didn't like that. I did like Poncho and I like Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I liked Hawkins.
Oh yeah, Hawkins.
You like Shane Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like dumb jokes.
Well, yes, I know. That's why
there was a lot of like misogynist 80s alpha male jokes in this movie.
There was, but nobody laughed at them. That was the funny part about it.
Hate to tell you this, if you're out in a combat zone, there tend to be misogynist jokes. Yeah,
no, I totally get it. It's just things
not
I
to say it's
noticed.
a prerequisite. I'm just saying,
like I think
it's gonna happen.
I think one of them called the other one an F word or called him gay or something. And
well, it's at the beginning where Blaine is trying to give tobacco. That's the introductions. So the film starts off. Well, hold on. You know what, Adam? Thoughts on what stands out of the cast? What stands out?
I'm like along with Allison. Bill Duke's dry shaving was the most ridiculously horrible part of the movie. Carl Weathers did not get a good enough role for this movie. He deserved better. He deserved Bill Duke's lines.
Well, he deserves. I mean, he got a lot of weight because I was thinking about this on the way here. But please continue. I don't want to.
Like I said before, I don't really like this movie much anymore.
Oh man,
it's a product of its time, and its time is up.
you said it was a good movie.
I said it was good. It was good, and for the saga, but it's not my favorite in the saga anymore. Because
but it's necessary.
It's very necessary. And like I said before, the effects are great, the music's great, everything about that's great, but it doesn't hold up. And the characters are flat to me, except for like Hawkins, who's barely in the movie anyway. He's one of the first to go, and Carl Weathers' character. So
I think part of it,
and the woman, she was good too. I don't know her name.
Anna.
But
sure.
Again, I don't think she was ever called. No, she was because he goes, I believe what's her name is Anna.
I think he asked her name.
Yeah, what's your name? Anna. Anna, we need to go to the chopper. We need to go to the landing zone. Blah, 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 blah.
And they killed a scorpion.
Over here.
They killed a pig.
Turn around.
Yeah.
Felt bad for the pig.
Over here. Man, you killed a pig.
That was a big pig.
Well, yeah. So in terms of this film, another aspect why I feel that I truly love it is my background is I was a military brat growing up. So I don't see one-dimensional characters. I see guys that I actually knew my father interacting with that were literal badass. Not because they were machismo, not because they were this stereotypical alpha male. No, because they just knew how to get things done, period. So to me, I see this in a whole different light because it represents a slice of 80s for me, what 80s was for me. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can relate, whereas other people might not be able to.
Now I do see it through a different lens, and we'll get more to that near the end. But in terms of the ensemble cast, it's very interesting how it was shot because each one of the guys had their own individual lane, and they stay in it. And they could easily be a one-dimensional character, but they're not. They could easily be just the dumb guy who has one lines, but you can tell that he has certain lines that specifically talk about Jesse Ventura's character, Blaine. He is the muscle. He is the major artillery. That's his specialty. That's why he has a big Gatling gun. He refers to his gun as Old Painless. You know, he's kind of the big brother of the group where he knows his lane. He knows that he's the brute, and he's there to take out the trash. Kind of like in the hockey, old-time hockey, he was the goon. He would take care of his guys by doing the hard work, the labor. Carl Weathers' character, to switch gears, I thought it was very interesting because it was a departure from his cocky role that everyone knew him in the 80s, not talking about Action Jackson, which is a very underrated film. Very fun.
That's a fun film.
It is. It really is. It's a departure from Apollo Creed, where he's
not super animated.
He gets to be a little bit conniving. He comes in, it's like, because some goddamn guy said you were the best. And it's like, Dylan, and you could see that there's some friendship there in terms of the acting. You can tell there's a contemporary, and that was because of the work that they did in the gyms beforehand and the bonding that they had, blah, blah, blah. So it was very interesting because once you find out in the film that they were led to this really bad situation on false circumstances.
Yep.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's crew, the guys, this unit, they are a specialized rescue team. They're not the Army. They're not special forces. They're literally just there to get in, get out, get the job done, and make
They're
it
the
look
bug
like,
out team.
Yeah. Make it look like that there's no trace. Well, Dylan, played by Carl Weathers, he manipulated a lot of people involved to get these guys in because he knew that it could be done. But he had to lie to Dutch and the other guys because otherwise they wouldn't do it because they have a set standard of moral codes.
So you could say he was an actual son of a bitch.
Exactly. Well, I don't know his mom, but yeah. And so now you're in the middle of the Central America. Shit has gone to the fan, and then you could see each guy stay in their lane and do their individual roles very well, but still have that commonality. Like, for example, when the mission's done. By the way, watching it now, I want to say thank you very much to the Suicide Squad, because now watching the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger blows up and all the guys, show what makes them good.
I thought of that too when I was watching it this time. I'm like, Suicide Squad did it better.
Specifically, Peacemaker, and Idris Elba's character. Not War Machine. But anyways, I digress. Where they completely brutalize this whole guerrilla camp, and then you find out that they were actually on their side. So
I see that you tricked me into watching another movie that has a guy from Rocky in it.
Yes. Yes. By the way, 4 weeks or 12 weeks from now, when my next return in the rotation, we're going to talk about Adam Sandler comedies.
Great.
Just to really mess with you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, sincerely. Here's your list. You can have Happy Gilmore, Happy Gilmore. There you go.
I noticed in this movie that so many of them, it was unnecessary, but I guess needed for the people watching. They just wanted to take off their vests or their shirts before they're getting ready to fight.
You were in a hot jungle. That actually is legit.
What's the one guy that they were all walking on the big, the tree had gone and they were walking? Billy, yeah. So Billy is just like, when he turns around and he's just like
that's because he's Native American. That was his order. That's how he basically goes into battle. He
to take his shirt off?
Yeah, he
and then he marks himself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember him marking himself, and I was confused by that because I thought instead of marking himself, I thought he was just like cutting himself so the predator would smell blood and come get him.
Possibly. But he also explained...
Is it possible, though? Because I don't think the predator cares about smell because he has a thing on his...
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily care about smell.
Nobody can see me doing that.
He was marking himself... I always viewed it as it was ceremonial with his Native American
Okay, I didn't get that, but that makes more sense.
He was getting ready for war.
Now, he did mention in a monologue stories about elders would talk about this and that and the other, and that kind of loosely plays into Prey. In terms of now, as it shows, Billy is not related to that tribe that was in Prey, but it's kind of the same era and time period, so on and so forth. But
wait, what's the same area, same time period? Because Prey is way in the past.
Yeah, but it's Native
But it was
American.
Native
Right.
American.
Oh, so you're saying he could have been a generation from
Yeah.
that tribe. Okay.
Yeah, those influence those stories.
Got it. See, if he had just cut himself and then put blood under his eye, I would have been like, he's going into battle.
Or the Hornet got to him.
But
Yeah, yes.
but if you notice how his war makeup was, it was just
Yes,
like with
that's
Prey.
true. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was black across the nose.
I was just like, put your shirt back on.
Put your clothes back on, white boy.
Compared to Arnie and compared to Carl Weathers, his physique, which is not bad, is not that good. And I kind of feel bad for the other guys too.
But then there's Jesse Ventura, who got super excited because his biceps were 1 inch larger than Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
and he bet Arnold Schwarzenegger. Continue the story.
That's all I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. Then never.
Because it's just alpha male machismo garbage.
Oh, come on.
They're too muscly.
That was the 80s.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Too muscles.
Yeah.
Muscles.
Very vascular.
Yeah.
In terms of the story, in terms of, oh man, it's just really interesting because again, everybody plays a role to try to propel and get them out of this circumstance. And the circumstance is they're in a hostile environment. They're being hunted one by one, and they're not used to losing because
Right.
they're not a commando group.
Right.
They're a rescue group.
Yeah.
So they're not used to losing guys. You know, when this happens, you can see the acting take hold in terms of we just lost one of our guys, and that's really where the pre-work did its job. So now Hawkins is gone, Shane Black.
Yeah.
Now Blaine is gone. And then you get that...
Blaine?
Blaine.
Blaine.
That's not
Jesse-
a
He's a
name.
major appliance. He
That's-
doesn't belong in the jungle.
That's that's Jesse Ventura's name. But and Mac, who is his best friend, and that's established in the film, is they're friends. They have a camaraderie. When they're trying to assess things in their own way, they're not Shakespeare, so they're not going to sit and heavily establish something. Ventura has this line, and he's been quoted in past interviews that he absolutely loved doing the Predator. And his favorite line from that is, "This shit makes Cambodia look like Kansas." And that's
And if you know anything about the dead Kennedys,
Or Kansas.
yeah, I'm speechless. But anyway, so again, that scene where they let Bill Duke kind of take the lead, and then when Blaine dies, you have this very somber moment where they play a variation of taps as Bill Duke is his character Mac is getting drunk and he's whispering to the moon and the stars, almost Shakespearean like, where he's like, "We're gonna get him, we're gonna get him," and man, when you me. We would get into just two dudes taken out left and right. Oh, man. And he's just mourning his best friend. And I'm getting moved right by it. So to say that it's a one-dimensional character, I do think that there is a little bit of slight or maybe some insight perhaps that you may have missed, or maybe it's just speaking to a different degree where it may... I don't know, man. Like
the only person that has mentioned one-dimensional character is you.
Okay.
It's true. Neither of us have said...
I haven't, I don't think, but I guess I didn't look
Okay.
too much into it.
Okay. Well, all right.
I mean, they're characters. They're just not... They're not an ensemble to me. They're a cast of characters in a movie together. But that's fine.
Okay. And that's fine. And we had a very thoughtful pre-meeting. Very thoughtful pre-meeting where we exchanged ideas. There's a lot of thoughts. So it was full of thoughts. So in terms of the film itself, and what I liked about it is, unlike a slasher film where a lot of the times the characters are done in by their need for whatever, whether it's lust for body, lust for drugs, yada yada, they were just doing their job. They were doing their job, and they were trying to help their fellow brother out to get out of this mess. And one by one, they were taken out because the predator was looking to size himself up. He was looking for that big prey. So he was hunting. And it was interesting to see these guys who are normally alpha become a beta very quickly and realize that no matter how strong they are, no matter how big their biceps were, it didn't matter because you had to work and out strategize something that you couldn't even see. And to see the characters get together and try to form this solution was very interesting to me. But again, it's something that when celebrating cinema and celebrating what an ensemble was, it looks like that this was not probably everyone's first choice or maybe second choice. Or in some,
I hadn't seen it.
No, and that's fine. That's fine.
It wasn't a bad movie.
No.
I actually thought that I was prepared for really bad special effects because I was like,
the special effects are actually.
I'm trying to say that.
Sorry, I apologize. Forgive me. That's
because it was 1980 7. I was like, no way are they going to be able to show like the infrared thing and him like jumping around. And I didn't think he was going to look anything like he has in the last couple of movies, and surprisingly, he did. So I will give them credit for that.
Yeah. Stan
I was
Winston
impressed by that.
Does amazing stuff.
Even when he was hopping from tree to tree. Was it great? I mean, it wasn't like 2020 or whatever, but it was decent. It wasn't like CGI green screen crap that I thought it was going to be. It wasn't like some recent movies I've seen. What was that movie it wasn't like Renfield. Did you see Renfield?
Yeah,
okay, that
cute.
blood,
the gore was
was
awful.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like sometimes compared, they actually did a really good job for an early 80s film. So I'm going to give it that. I actually wanted more of Predator than the people.
One of the cool things about movies.
Well, he was always there.
One of the cool things about effects heavy movies in the 80s were that they had to do them all in camera, so it looks fantastic no matter what you do.
Like The Thing.
Just like The Thing. Everything was done live. Even the camouflage wasn't. The camouflage was done with camera tricks, and it was done with not green screen. It was done with red screen.
And maybe that's why it looked a little on the cheesy side.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's so much you can do in 1987.
Exactly.
Yeah. So explain to the audience why red screen.
Because the world around them was green, and you can't key out green on green, or you'd key out the entire shot.
Yeah.
So you have to. People don't understand that green screen is basically a term now. George Lucas used blue because you use the color that you most likely will not use within a shot. Usually it's that weird fluorescent green. No one's going to go around wearing fluorescent green on their clothes or anything. And you can see that sometimes on weather reports. Sometimes people have invisible ties or something. It's because they should
know better.
They're mixed with that color that they're keyed out. Yeah.
Anchorman 2, where they have Steve Carell's character floating around because he's wearing green shirts. Ooh, I'm a ghost.
Did they do that with What About Bob too? I'm sorry, Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. Yep.
Yeah.
That's when I first learned.
It was Andy McDowell.
That's why they never wear hello. Yeah, duh.
Yeah, where she's having fun.
Yeah.
That was cute. Yeah. But so moving on with the film, kind of like we did it on Bullet Train, I truly feel, and I think, again, I might be the minority on this one, if you take out Arnold.
You are the minority here.
I am. There you go. Half of me is offended. Half of me agrees with you. But anyways, so if you take out Arnold and you make the story follow Blaine, or if you make the story follow Billy, which essentially would be Prey at that point, which that's another story, but that gets away from the overall context of being an ensemble. But if you follow Mac, any of the characters, I think it's still a very strong film, and it still pushes the narrative along. Now, whether or not the characters would have the savvy to get to that final level that Arnold did, unfortunately, I don't think that would be possible, at least not through what was shown. You needed Arnold's savvy and wit, but he also built that savvy and wit through his guys that he served with, his character, that development that he did beyond the film.
I think Ventura or Duke's characters could be clever enough for that.
Mac's problem is he was thinking with his heart at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just trying to avenge Blaine so much. He was kind of, and again,
but as you said, them being a military unit, his fight or flight would turn off, and he would go back to his training.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I don't think. I think all of the characters would be, maybe not Hawkins. All the characters but Hawkins would have done well on their own.
What's interesting is about Hawkins, his look. He actually wishes that he would have listened to the director.
I know, because well, no, it was the director that gave him the glasses. He wanted the military glasses.
Well, no, the director also wanted to give him a red beret.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he wanted to give him a red beret, and the reason being is because the director tried really hard to make each one of the characters stand out individually, and Hawkins still did because of the glasses. That was a compromise.
The glasses and the jokes.
Yeah, the glasses and the jokes, but also that character Hawkins, he was also in charge of the comms. He was the comms guy. Mm-hmm. So usually the comms guy on any recon team is usually not the most intelligent. He's basically the geek squad, if you will.
Hence the glasses.
Yeah,
exactly. They were basically like a dollar store G.I. Joe team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, just. Let's see. Do I want the off-brand juicy fruits? Do I want the underwear that's going to break when what? Oh no! I want the recon team. Yeah, there you go. The guy who dry shaves. Yeah.
Yes, that's who I got. He comes with a razor.
Man, G.I. Joes are too expensive. I'll take the Liberty Heroes.
I'll take Anna.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, even her character, in terms of how it propelled the film and worked towards the ensemble, it did work because she gave the background of her people, because she was a native of that area. And it was very interesting because she at first tried to get away because she was part of the guerrilla group. And then when she realized that this adversary was bigger than the boundaries, this is a big deal. And then she spoke English. She talked about, beautiful monologue. Again, the film is underrated because there are some great monologues in that film. Mm-hmm. And she talked about her...
Wait, did you just say this film is underrated?
Oh, did I?
Because it's pretty much considered a classic.
I feel that it's underrated, at least to me. But full transparency, I do have... It's, as I outlined...
I wish more people would have heard about Predator.
But here's the thing, and I was reflecting on this, but let me finish with the Anna part, and then we can talk a little bit more. But she has that beautiful monologue where she's giving the history of where this creature, my people have this legend of this creature, this demon, would show up on the hottest time of the year and would take them down, hunt people, yada, yada. And she was realizing at that point that legend is true. Mm-hmm. And you could see that in her face. And that was pretty awesome to me. And also, I would like to thank Arnold Schwarzenegger for maybe me ruining so many pieces of clothing because I got Georgia red clay on my clothes because I was trying to...
You're trying to hide from the Predator?
Yeah.
Well, all you had to do is just get like somebody like Weekend at Bernie's and you could just like strap them over you and just like Bernie would be your shield.
He's shield.
Well, yeah. I think red clay is a little bit better than finding a corpse.
It's probably more sanitary too.
Potato.
Yeah, I mean, granted,
you could wave at him. Hi.
Oh, he's having a grand time.
Oh, look at him! Ah, there you go.
Back on Bullet Train.
Oh boy, but yeah, I mean, overall, again, it's just such a fun film. Now, when I talk about underrated because I reflect on where Predator is as a franchise. Yeah, it's solid. It has a lot of solid followings, but is it anywhere comparable to Aliens? No, it's not. It's almost, even though it's in that same.
I still don't understand why people have to compare the two just because of the one scene in Predator 2.
No. I'm talking more of a general contemporaries of that time period. This was a science fiction movie in the 80s. Aliens was a science fiction in the 80s. Granted, Predator's first film was in 87, whereas Aliens, obviously, the 82, 86, sorry, apologize, so on and so forth. So that's naturally going to be a comparable, and especially in more 2020, more common time periods, we see Alien versus Predator. So it's almost like they intertwine each other because of how they were eventually put out. So
I get that. But, sorry. It's late.
Yeah, no. And we're going to wrap up, bud.
I never got the comparison because they're two different genres, really. Alien was a haunted house scary movie. Aliens was a war movie. Predator was a cat and mouse movie.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be connected in the way that they were, and that only happened was for two reasons. One, there was one scene in Alien or in Predator 2. Yeah. They just because they were owned by Fox, they thought let's be cool and put an alien thing in it. And then Dark Horse Comics put out the Alien vs Predator comics, and the fans went crazy.
Yeah, it did really well.
That's what started the whole thing. And
But it makes sense to put them together if they're both aliens,
right?
But
the Predator
they seem
always
like two
wins.
different movies to me. Like
they're two different.
I mean,
style of
the Alien movies are more horror, science fiction, right? Like straight out of space. And I haven't seen Predator 2, but if you're looking at just Predator, it's more like in the jungle war action, like manly. Like I'm gonna watch an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that just has an alien in it.
Yeah, Predator 2 is Danny Glover.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Danny Glover, no.
It was supposed to be Duke's brother. There was the first Dark Horse Predator comic was called Concrete Jungle, and it was an actual sequel to Predator, and it took place in the city, and another Predator came to avenge the death of
the first Predator.
Yeah.
So there's Predator 1, 2. Is there a 3?
There's Predators.
Okay,
by Robert Rodriguez.
Is 3.
Yeah.
I may have seen that one. And then we go to Alien versus Predator?
There's Predator, Predator 2, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Predators, and then The Predator, and then Prey.
And then Prey. That is a lot. That's 7 movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for them.
Yeah.
And there's some really kick-ass comic books, too.
100%. And some fun video games as well.
And there's actually an ongoing one right now through Marvel. In fact, there's the Predator series, and then there's Predator vs. Wolverine right now. Which I think is a good matchup. I just haven't read it.
And you can also play Predator and I believe Alien in Mortal Kombat.
And Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah. And Jason Voorhees, isn't he in that one?
Yep, and Leatherface.
Yeah.
Why would either of them win in a fight?
They're just there for fun.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's fan.
I'm just trying to say, like, if you put Predator against somebody, who would actually maybe beat him? Probably Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because of his claws.
Well,
and his healing factor.
Yeah, he can regenerate.
Yeah.
And if you take away Predator's weapons, his shoulder gun, his parrot gun, as they called it on set.
His spear, his disc.
Yeah. If you
his claws.
If you take away that, he's just big. Yeah. That's it.
And he takes forever to take his helmet off. So by then, somebody's already killed him.
Hold on one sec. It basically...
I gotta pump up.
Why don't we ever have Freddy versus Wolverine? Just like scissor, knife fights.
Scissoring each other.
Yes.
You know what? I would write it, but if you saw my fan fiction Family Guy episode that I wrote, that never went anywhere. So, yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to my world. Oh, shit. You lived through some shit. Yeah, I have.
So this predator ended up dying in that big explosion at the end.
Right.
He self-detonated.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, if they fail in their hunt, they have to ritualistically destroy themselves and everything around
Got
them.
it.
It's
Okay.
similar to samurais who kill themselves.
Okay.
For
And there was only one that we know of.
Seppuku.
Because I kept waiting, like the chopper went up or whatever, and I'm waiting for there to be another thing that's going to, because I knew there was another movie. I was waiting for them to like show like something else is going to happen, which is going to lead into the sequel. But I guess they just didn't do that back then, huh?
No, what their thing is, they send them. They have a net of planets that they send them to, and each one.
I learned that from Prey.
Sends one to each.
But I thought in Prey they sent a couple.
They did. I don't know why.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
And AVP Requiem, they had like the big predator to clean up after the failure.
Yeah, you find out that there's like the predator that we know.
They have like the wolf from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, the predator that we know of is kind of like the micro, like the baby, if you will.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, after this predator, failed, they should know better that going forward you need to send two because he needs help.
But if they've been going to that planet for
it's a rite of passage. They're either going to survive or not.
But you're saying that he has to blow up everything around him, so it's almost like a waste. Because now all the other predators, if you blew up a lot of what around him, you can't go back because now you could have overtaken that planet.
So what you're saying is the Amazon is not being killed because of the greed of capitalism; it's because of predators.
Exactly.
Damn it, Arnold Schwarzenegger! Stop killing them!
It's an invasive species.
Yes.
Damn it!
Exactly.
Jeez, come on! Can we fight like in the middle of Sahara? Come on, guys!
And spiders. There's lots of spiders there.
And snakes and poison frogs and
All right,
scorpions and Sub-Zeros.
Sub-Zero, Plane Zero.
Oh, that would be good. Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Predator because they all have masks.
And Reptile and Smoke.
And they all talk. He'd be like, get over here.
Well,
and Predator would like mimic him.
Get over here.
That was really funny at the end when he was like, do, 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 do. And then he was just like talking.
Just wait till you see Predator 2.
Oh, maybe
Want some candy?
He says, want some candy? Okay.
Yeah, because he runs into a kid finds him in the park.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's funny.
Well, no.
Actually, that movie does have some really good comedic scenes.
Okay.
Like the old lady with the broom.
All right. I'll put it on my list.
Because Predator, remember, his goal is to find the ultimate prey, the ultimate game. So a defenseless kid is not is not worth his time,
and they will not attack if you do not have a weapon.
Yeah, so that's why that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger, as they're getting ready to near the beginning of the third act, he kicks the weapon out of Anna's hands. And is actually starting to try to help Poncho out, who's the guy who was hit with the log.
It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Yeah, exactly. Better than that, it's good. But so he kicks out her hand and goes, "No, go get into the chopper!" And that's when he gets shot, grazed with the plasma weapon to his arm. He recognized very quickly that he would not attack if you didn't have any weapon.
Yeah.
So he was trying to help her.
No, Arnold was actually smart. He was the smarter one of the group. I did like what's his name getting his arm cut off though, and then it kept shooting the gun. That was awesome.
So when my dad watched it for the first time in the theaters, my dad is notorious, especially during that time period, just all the shit that he witnessed and endured. He came in the early 70s, and he was basically used for his skill set, yada yada. So he had a very morbid sense of humor. Like, for example, we saw Full Metal Jacket. And when the main character, Pyle blew his brains out, he goes, "Ha ha! Look at the brains!" Oh yeah. So naturally, in the theater, we saw it. We bought tickets. We're in the theater because I'm a big Arnold fan. All this fun stuff. I was 5 years old at the time, and his arm gets obliterated and disconnected. My dad's laughing his ass off. He's like, "Look at your arm!" It's stone quiet, and my dad's like, "Look at the arm! What the hell would a general be doing in that situation? They would not have General Hopper in that. God damn it! No,
He said all of that in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like my pops is notorious. If he sees the guys wearing uniform, he's like, "Those ribbons don't make any sense. I'm almost certain those are Canadian ribbons. What the fuck?" Yeah, that's my dad. But anyways, so overall thoughts. Are there any snippets, any taglines, anything we got for Predator before we let it chill out in this hot jungle?
I didn't look up taglines. Getting the chopper is probably a tagline.
You just throw in a Batman and Robin Arnold Schwarzenegger line just for fun.
Oh my God, there's 8
Chill
taglines.
out.
That's ridiculous. And one of them is like an entire paragraph.
It's just a synopsis of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to read that one. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Okay.
All right.
Soon the hunt will begin.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before.
That's a lie.
Well, at the time.
I know.
It came for the thrill of the hunt. It picked the wrong man to hunt.
Murder.
Man to hunt.
In the movie, Arnold will experience every meaning of the word pain.
That sounds like a Hellraiser tagline.
That sounds like a S&M.
Like I said, like a Hellraiser tag.
We cannot see it, but it sees the heat of our bodies and the heat of our fear.
That just sounds sexy.
Yeah.
And then this is
The heat between me and you.
Yeah, this other one is just really long. I mean, I can say it.
You know what? Go for it. Why not?
In a part of the world where I'm sorry, I already screwed it up. I was trying to be that guy. In a part of the world where there are no rules, deep in the jungle where nothing that lives is safe, an elite rescue squad is being led by the ultimate warrior. But now they're up against the ultimate enemy. Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before. It kills for pleasure. It hunts for sport. But this time, it picked the wrong man to hunt. So it's basically just adding all those taglines together.
And they added the wrong wrestler.
What?
The Ultimate Warrior,
the
was not
Ultimate Warrior.
was not in that movie.
Oh, that's why it's a failed tagline. Getting the chopper was not a tagline. That's just a quote.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great one-liners in the film. You know, ain't got time to bleed. Ain't got time to breathe. Wouldn't wish that on broke dick dog. Of course, getting the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Thank you. You ugly son of a bitch.
You ugly son of a bitch.
Yeah, so on and so forth. But anyways, Adam.
Me.
Yes. Any final thoughts?
I don't like this movie much anymore. Okay. I really enjoy the Predator universe. But I will watch Prey over all the others. And I'm sticking with my fandom for Predator 2. I know it gets a lot of crap, but I think it's a better movie. But you need this movie to make it a better movie.
I have nothing wrong with Predator 2. Prey I really liked. I mean, the Kodiak bear scene where that was just awesome.
It's my favorite Predator movie.
Well, where the whatchamacallit is the Predator is invisible and you see the blood. Awesome. Just, oh man, fanboying out completely. But
you got to love a creature that bleeds glow stick and KY jelly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he looks like he was Raven and he bit into a glow stick. Been there, done that, my friend.
It was a glow stick.
So
yeah,
that's toxic.
Well, yeah.
To humans.
Yeah, not to him.
I used to have a black light in my room when I was in high school, in middle school / high school.
I have a black light on right now.
Yeah, I broke open chem lights, glow sticks, because my dad had an abundance of them.
You're a military brat when you say chem lights instead of glow sticks.
That's funny.
Well,
and you have an abundance in your house.
Oh.
I had to buy them from Target in the camping section.
Dude, when I was hungry, I would just eat MRI.
Gross.
MREs?
MREs, yeah.
I would just eat MRIs.
MRIs, I would eat scans, yes.
Take apart.
But anyways.
So did I tell you my first car?
No.
Not my car that I raced. It was a Mercury Tracer. I had black lights installed inside the car.
I don't doubt it.
Your teeth probably look so cool.
I know. I was cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
I know.
Perhaps
my
you didn't
six
change
disc CD changer and my black lights on the roof in the car.
Nice.
Totally. So, yeah.
So, No Black Lights and Predator, but maybe
Nope, just
our
glow
next
sticks.
maybe our next movies that we're going to be selecting. I believe who's next on
Celebrating Black Light. It's Allison.
Me.
Allison.
Celebrating raves.
So it's going to be Go.
So any ideas
Go.
coming up?
No,
of what you're
no
gonna think?
ideas.
You're going to think about it?
No, you
You're
guys
gonna-
torture me with movies and things, and you're teasing with upcoming things I want no part of. So I'm gonna have to come up with something.
Well, find out what that is next time when we return for our next series. Thank you for joining us for this series on celebrating ensemble movies. Let us know what your favorite ensemble movies are, and maybe we'll do a second series on it. But in the meantime, thanks for joining us, and remember to always celebrate cinema.